see the deaths coming. Acquiring targets.
Good day. And here we are with the second and the best expansion pack for Dawn of War. Dark Crusade adds a ton of new content. Some of the factions get new weapons, and there's 2 new playable races. And one of the best additions is the fact that you can now play the game in 1080p, and damn does it look good. The 2 new races are the Tau and the Necrons. Both are fairly recent additions to, at least at the time, the Warhammer 40k universe. The Tau are primarily a ranged faction. You get a number of really interesting units, up to and including a Tyrannosaurus Rex that you can unleash upon your foes. Really, this is another faction that has a lot of power in a very small number of units. But that kind of pales in comparison to the Necrons. Now, the Necrons are basically unbeatable in the game, or at least from the rule revision I looked at years ago. Essentially, their weakest weapon was supposed to be able to destroy the Imperial Guard's largest and most powerful tank, or something crazy like that. In-game, they haven't really been nerfed all that much at all, really. They're still a very powerful faction. Look at this attack on a Tau base. I only have a couple of units here, and they are just wreaking havoc. I have these flayed ones attacking this base, and nothing seems to really be attacking them for some reason. I guess this is the AI's one lapse in judgment. Really, the Necrons are a somewhat difficult race to play as, because you never have that many units, and it's somewhat difficult to defend your base and holdings when you basically just have 4 or 5 units. This game also gets an entirely new campaign set on another planet, that of course every single faction wants to control.
Setting up. They will never see the deaths coming. They will never see the deaths coming.
It will be good to have
acquiring targets. They will never see the deaths coming. Our hunt begins. They will never see the deaths coming.
You're strong. It will be good to have that strength.
Fire. They will never see the deaths coming. Our hunt begins.
In the end, this is by far the best expansion pack for Dawn of War. It revamps the game and makes it absolutely exemplary. In fact, it pretty much fixes all of the issues seen in the very first release. Now, there would be one other expansion pack released for Dawn of War, called Dawn of War Soulstorm. It is by far the worst expansion pack because it was unbalanced, there were a lot of bugs. It did introduce 2 new factions, but they weren't very good. And also it had by far the worst voice acting of all time, or at the very least worst voice acting of all time when it comes to Dawn of War games. Now, just how bad was it, you may ask? Well, one of the voice actors could not even say the word Space Marine right. Instead, it was more like Spec Marines. Unforgivable. Now, that aside, this is a expansion pack I highly recommend. But like with Battlefield, you're probably not going to just get Dawn of War by itself. I personally had the Platinum Edition. It was a total of $20 about 5 years ago, and it included the first 2 expansion packs. And I highly recommend seeking that one out for sure. And so, this is John, signing off.
Our duty calls, Shaka.